Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video we will see the set identifiers. So set identifiers basically identify what kind of selection that you are making, and based on the value that you are specifying within the set analysis, you will see the change into the output. So the one here indicates it represents the full set of all the records in the application, irrespective of any selection made. That means whatever selection that you have in the set analysis or for the chart, if you have specified 1 instead of $, then no selection impact will be made on the chart. We will see it in the next slide how you can specify it, but be with me with what are the values, different values that we can have in the as a set identifier. Second is $, representing the records of current selection. So the set expression $, is thus equivalent to not stating a set expression. So it's basically saying it's a default way of how set analysis basically picks up the identifier. Even if you don't specify anything like 1 or $, the $, will be assumed by default, and whatever selection that you are making along with the set expressions that you have stated in your set analysis, it will make an impact based on your selection. The third is the $1. It represents the previous selection. So the value that your chart will show you the previous selected value. $2 select the previous selection but 1, and so on and so forth. Then you have $_1. It represents the next forward selection. $_2 represents the next selection but 1, and so on. And finally what you have is BM01, which is basically your bookmark, the bookmark that you can specify within the Qlik Sense. So you can use the bookmark ID to keep it as an identifier, so that it will show you the value based on the selections that you have stored within the bookmark. All right. So now let's see the example. I know initially it will be a bit confusing, but let's see examples. So what do we have over here is just a very straightforward sum, and within the curly brackets you have 1 and sales. It returns the total sales for the application, or you can say the data that you have within the application, disregarding current selections but not the dimension. So what it means is whatever selections that you are making in the front end, it will disregard that, but if you have specified any dimension, it will pick up that from the chart. Second is the sum of dollars sales. So it basically returns the sales for the current selection, and as I mentioned, even if you don't specify the dollar over here, it will by default pick up the dollar, and as you can see, it's same as specifying sum of sales. Third thing is sum of $1 sales. Returns the sales for previous selection. So for example, if you keep on making the selection, say first you made a selection on furniture, then you made a selection on technology, then you made a selection on the something else, then it will only show you whatever the last selection that you make. So if you have to do some sort of analysis where you want to have the current selection as well as the last selection, you can always use it $1 to identify what is last selection. Similarly, you have BM01, the bookmark, which basically returns the sales for the bookmark name BM01. So as you know, the bookmark is based on the lot of selections that you have already made, and you want to have saved it, and you want to use that saved selections and use it into your chart. Then you can basically take it this advantage of this bookmark and use it. I will show you in the next videos about how you can basically apply all of these, and we will see it everything in action. So stay tuned with me, and this is just the introduction of your set identifiers with some set identifier example, and yeah, we will see it the practical example in the next videos. Hi there, welcome to the next video. And in this video, we will start one of the very important topic within Qlik Sense, which is set analysis. Set analysis is, as I said, is one of the very important and frequently used expression that you use it in the front end. That means in the chart. So whatever expression you will write related to set analysis will be there in the front chart or in the KPI. So let's see, first of all, what is the Qlik definition of set analysis. So set analysis offers a way of defining a set or group of data values that is different from normal defined or a normally set defined by the current selection. I know for a beginner this is confusing, so let's break it apart. So first of all, the normal set defined by the current selection, what that means is your default state of the expression. So if you have seen my previous videos, we have used the expressions like sum of sales, sum of profit, and so on and so forth. So those are your normal set. That means whatever selection you will make in the front end after defining those expression, it will accept it. It will not change based on some of the custom set analysis expression that we will be seeing. So now you can easily understand that this is basically normal set defined by current selection, your normal state that we have been doing so far. But set analysis offers a way of defining a set or modifying the way your calculation is specified. Now let's see an example. So set analysis is powerful when making a sort of comparison. So for example, you want to compare the poorly selling products for this year against the last year. Let's say if this is what the difference you are really looking for, you can achieve it with the help of set analysis. Couple of other examples that we can see. For example, your chart should not show the particular product. So for example, you have product for furniture or technology, but you want your chart that it should not display the values for furniture. Well, in that case, you can use the set analysis and modify your expression. Similarly, your chart should not take some filters selection into consideration. So whatever filters that you are using to make the changes into the chart, you want rest of the other charts, let's say 5 charts you have on the front end, you want 4 charts to take the filter selection into consideration, but not just one particular chart, because you want to show the entire picture compared to how you are making a selection and the values that is changing into the chart. If that is what the scenario, you can achieve it with the set analysis. Third is your chart should always contain one particular field value along with the current selection. So what does that mean is, say for example, you have one particular field value which is chairs or or some other product, that you always want that whenever your chart is getting displayed, it should be presented there, and whenever you are making selections on the other products, it should also keep on including that into that chart. So in such scenarios, which is very custom to the business needs, you can achieve it with the set analysis. Now let's see the syntax. So set analysis syntax, let's see the very basic syntax. And here, if you see, so far you have been using sum with sales, but now we have this complex expression. I know it looks really difficult right now because there is a lot of things, there is this curly brackets, so that's where your expression start. This is basically your set modifier, which indicates how you want to treat the selection. Right now we are saying that whatever selection is going on in the, or whatever selection a user will make in the front end, keep accepting that. But we are saying that only show the chart values for year 2009, right? So that's a very simple. So here is this field here, and this is a value, numerical value. And as you can see, if it is a numerical value, you don't have quotes, but if you have a character value, let's say a product like chair or something else, you will have the quote, single quote surrounding this particular value. So here in this expression you have an identifier, which is this. You have a modifier, which is basically the angular brackets which specify how you want to modify your expression. And third thing is operator, which is not part of this expression. So something like you want year 2009 and you want to add something over here like plus for making a union, or if you have seen the set theory in your high school, so something like you want to add a plus over here and say some other selection, for example category type furniture. So those operator example we will see it in the future, but that's a way you can further modify your expressions. So that's pretty much all about what set analysis syntax contains, and this is a very basic syntax as we are starting this. But in the future videos we will be seeing the identifiers in very much in detail, the modifiers in very much in detail, and operators as well, and their relevant examples. So stay tuned with me and I will meet you in the new video with a new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video we will have a practical example of what we discussed in the previous video. So if you have seen my previous video, what we discussed is the identifiers like $1, $1, $$_1, and bookmark. So we will see some of the examples based on what we discussed. All right. So what I will going to do is I will just remove this particular table. So let me go into the edit mode. Here I will just select and remove this by pressing the delete button. In the chart I will add the KPI because it will be easy for us to understand with the help of the KPI. Probably I can add a little bit. So if I add a measure, I can simply say sum of sales, right, and press tab. So now the sale is 14.92 million, and if I just add a filter over here just to show you the impact, I will add a filter pane over here, and let's expand it over here. In a dimension, let's add customer segment, right? So here we have a sum of sales 14.92, and if you remember from the previous video, it's basically saying either sum of sales or sum of dollar sales. If I press tab, nothing will happen. So this is basically indicating that whatever current selections we will make, it will take those into the consideration. So now let's add the second KPI, and in this case I'm going into expression editor and I'm saying sum, and within the curly brackets I'm specifying 1, and if you remember, it indicates that it will not take any selection that we are making into consideration. So 14.92, 14.92, sum of dollar sales indicating this, sum of $1 sale indicating this. So let's click on done, come into the front end, and now let's make a selection. So if I do a selection on consumer, you will see that sum of dollar sales have taken the selection impact, but sum of $1 sale have not taken the impact. Now you can think that such expression how you can really modify such kind of an expression. For example, if you want to have a KPI which is saying that from 14.92, that means from overall sales reduce 3.06 based on the selection you are making. So if those kind of conditions suppose you need to achieve, then you can basically make an effort by changing it the set analysis by specifying the identifiers. All right, so that's the first thing I wanted to show you, the impact of the dollar and $1, how it takes an impact. So for example, if I just make one more selection, you will see that nothing really happens. Or if I remove first selection, the change will happen only in case of the dollar sales, but not in case of the identifier, which basically says that I will not take any selection into the consideration and will not modify the value. So that's about the difference between the practical difference between the dollar and one in the practical example. In the next video, I will show you the scenarios of $1 and $_1. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you the impact of $1 selection. So right now you are seeing the selection difference that I have shown you in the previous video, but let's go into the edit mode and make some changes. So over here I will keep dollar as it is, but over here in the second selection I will say not 1 but $1. And if you remember from the second last video which I shared you, that $1 basically indicates the previous selection, the value of the previous selection. So if I press the tab, you will see 8.56. So if I click on done and first of all remove everything, it will keep showing you whatever I selected previously. So you can see 14.92 and 5.5 is right now. If I say consumer, the 14.92 is gone over here, right? And 3.06, which is the current selection value, is coming over here. So I know initially it will be confusing, but trust me, if you will use it in the in scenarios where you want to capture these kind of selections and want to compare the selections, very helpful. Now if you see 3.06 will move over here if I select something over here. So corporate 8.56, 3.06. 3.06 now reflects the consumer selection. If I uncheck this, you will see 5.5, which is only for corporate, but 8.56 is overall consumer and corporate. So that's about how your $1 really make an impact. Now you can also specify, instead of $1, you can say $2. So this will confuse, or this will make it more and more complex based on the advancement we will go. And let's specify the $1 over here. So previous value, second previous value. If I hit tab, you will see like this, and based on whatever selection we will make, and you will see it in the when you will analyze the data, this is going basically 2 step back, this is going 1 step back and giving you the output. So that's what I mainly wanted to show you, the demonstration of how it picks up the previous and second previous value, and how you can really utilize it in the front end with the help of the KPI. But whenever you use chart like this or table where you want to see the difference, you will see it by just making the selection, and it will keep showing you the comparison of what you currently selected, what you previously selected, what you selected 2 step backs, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty much it. I would really recommend you experiment with it with the different charts that we have, and you will see that when the situation will arise in your business to create such a chart, it will provide a lot of value. So a good functionality to keep in mind. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you the impact of forward selection. And if you have already used it and not found out the output and feeling frustrated why it is not giving you the output, I will show you the right way in which you can use it. So right now it is showing you the value that the previous value that it takes with $1 and $2. Let's convert this to a $1 and $2. And if you see that nothing is coming, and if I click on done, still nothing is coming. If I'm selecting consumer, nothing is coming, nothing is coming with any selection. Probably you may have frustrated after that and you have closed it, or if not, and if you are still learning, let's see how it makes an impact. It makes an impact based on how we are moving up, moving forward or moving back. So right now we are only moving forward in this case. So it has basically recorded all the selections. So if I go one step back by clicking over here, step back, you will see 14.92 is basically the first value that it had captured. If I go two step back, it says 12.13, probably the first two selections that we have made. If I go one step more back, you will see 8.56 and 12.13. So what it does is at the very start it will not show you the value, but it will keep on recording the selections that you are taking, and based on when you go back, actually it will keep on showing you the recorded forward selection value, whether the first forward, second forward and third forward value into your KPI or in the chart. Many times we want to record that as we are moving back and forth into the analysis, and if there is a need that we want to see the forward selections in this kind of a scenario, then we can straight away use the $1, $_2, so on and so forth, based on the needs that we have. Very helpful in scenarios like where you have years. So let's say if you have selected, if first of all you have not selected anything, that entire data is coming, then you selected the current year, that will be your first forward selection. Then you have selected the second last year, that will be a second selection. And if you have a KPI or a chart like this in which you want to show all of the values, where current value, previous to previous value, or forward value or forward value, then you can basically use the $_1 or $1 that I explained in the previous video. All of those at your disposal based on what analysis you have in hand. So that's what I basically wanted to show you and give you an example where you can use it, and probably here is I found a simple example where we can really connect with that and utilize it. So I really recommend that you go ahead and use it, and I will meet you in the new video with a new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you another way in which you can specify the identifier, which is bookmark. So first of all, we will create a bookmark. So to create a bookmark, we need to make some selections based on what analysis we want. So for example, consumer, all these different consumers that we have, or maybe something else like in technology, if we want to do any selections over here. So whatever selection you want to make, first make that selection so that you have the analysis as per your needs. Then come over here in the bookmarks and click on create a bookmark, and let's give it a name as BM01, right? Whatever bookmark that you want to give, you can give it, you can give the description, come outside, and now you have the bookmark available. Well, the beauty is that if you remove everything and you want to come back to that analysis, you will go to bookmark and you will click it over here, and you will have the bookmark. All the selections will be made automatically based on what you saved previously. So that's a very efficient way of saving the analysis based on selections that you have made. Now let's go ahead and see this in action. So I will close this and click on edit, and here I will remove this thing. So this is in a default stage 14.92, and here I will specify the BM01, the bookmark that we created. So this function, this expression, the second expression right now, if you see it is 0, it should show you what selection we made based on the output in terms of sum of sales. So if I click on tab, you will see 12.13 million. So if I click on done, sorry about that. So 14.92 is coming and 12.13 is here based on the bookmark. Now if I want to see whether it is right or not, I will just go ahead and select BM01, and you will see that the bookmark is basically right. So 12.13, this is the bookmark I saved, and this is the value I'm getting. So if this is what your need is, that you want to have the expression based on some other bookmark that you created, you will use it in the identifier, and pretty much you will be done. based on the analysis you want to achieve. So that's pretty much it I wanted to show you in this video, and now I will meet you in the new video with a new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you the set operators. So first of all, let's see the set operators. Set operators are basically used to include, exclude, or intersect parts of or whole data set. All operators use sets as operand and returns a set as results. That's the straightforward definition, but all in all, they basically provides us a very easy and efficient way to manage the complex problems. So let's see first of all what are the set operators, and let's see it in action afterwards. So first is the union, and as you would see, it will combine the results of two different expressions that are part of it. Then you have exclusion. As it is pretty straightforward, it will exclude it from the one getting excluded. So that's basically in definition, this binary operation returns a set of records that belongs to the first but not the other of the two set operands. Important part is it returns the complement set. Then you have the intersection, and as the name suggests, it returns the common records. And finally, symmetric difference. In a nutshell, it returns the records that is everything but not common records. So let's see the examples. So first example is, as you would see, 1 minus dollar and then sum of sales. It returns the sales for everything excluded by the selection. And if you have followed my previous videos, you would get it very quickly what it is. So I'm not going to explain those again, but if you have not seen that, I would suggest you will see my set identifiers video, which I've already posted, and then see this. Then you have dollar star BM01. It will return the sales for the intersection between the selection and bookmark 01. Then you have the exclusion operator, which is minus. It returns the sales excluded by selection and bookmark 01. So everything what you select as well as the bookmark, it will exclude those sales. And finally, a different type of example. You will see that first you have the dollar year 2009, and within the one set, and in another set you have all the value but only for country Sweden. So it returns the sale for 2009 associated with the current selection as dollar is present over there, and then add the full data set of data associated with the country Sweden across all years. So as you can see, I have shown you over here the different examples and a complex example at the end, but you would notice that in most of the scenarios that you will create a dashboard or a report for, you will use the last expression a lot, because most of the times you need to combine multiple dimensions and find out the final answer. So that's about what set operators are and some of the examples. And in the next video I will show you, next couple of videos I will show you the different set operators and how to achieve the desired output. So that's pretty much it, and I will meet you in the new video with a new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will explain what we discussed in the previous video, which is the explanation of set operators. So if you remember, in the previous video I talked about the plus, minus, intersection, and the symmetric difference set operators, which you can use for achieving the complex scenarios or the complex business rules that is like everyday's reality. Okay, so how we can do that? Let's first of all go into the edit, and we will use this sum of sales for keeping the explanation simple as we are just starting. And one of the very first thing that we discussed is the 1 minus dollar and then your field name, which is sales. So what it was is basically one, if you remember from my previous videos, it means the entire data set minus dollar, that means the current selection. So let's go ahead and come over here in the expression editor and open the curly brackets, and in that write 1 minus dollar, and now see it in action. Click apply. Right now 0 because dollar indicates the current selection, and if nothing is selected that means the entire selection, and 1 indicates the entire data. So 1 minus right now dollar, it basically indicates 1, the entire data. So let's click on done for now, and if you see, if we select anything the value will change. So for example, furniture, that means from the entire data the furniture have been excluded, and what it represents, the value for office supplies and technology in this case. And if I just select technology, then 3.75 million is basically the office supplies. So similarly, if you have more filters like this, and if you want to achieve this kind of an outcome where you want to exclude the selections that you are making from the entire data, then you can use 1 minus dollar like this, which I have used it over here. So it's very tricky, and sometimes it has been used along with the value which is showing the value related to the selection, and then what is not related to the selection, if you want to show, we can always utilize this kind of an operation which is related to the set operators. Now as an assignment, if you have followed my previous video, we have created a bookmark, and in the previous video I have shown you that how you can use the intersection, which is a star operator, and then basically get the common records between the bookmark value and the current selection value. And yeah, you can take it as a homework for yourself and do an experiment with that, and that will help you learn the set operators. So that's pretty much it I have for you in this video, and in the next video I will extend my conversation to show you a little bit more about the set operators. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you the bookmark option, an assignment which I gave it to you in the last video. So if you were able to do it by creating some bookmark, okay, and if you have not, then let me explain it to you in this video. So if you remember from one of my previous videos that bookmark is very helpful in saving the analysis. So for example, over here we have the furniture that we have selected, and let's say we want to keep it as a selection so that we don't have to go it again and again here and do the selection. So what I'll do is come over here in the bookmark section, create a new bookmark, and I will say BM, which is bookmark and underscore furniture, right? In description, whatever description I want to write, so for example, furniture related information, and just click outside, and here I have my BM underscore furniture bookmark created for me, which I can always select. So for example, if I just remove this, come over here, select this, whatever selection I have saved will be selected in the front end. Alright, so with that, what I'll do is go into the edit and click it over here, and this is the expression that we edited in the last video. So what I'll do is go into the expression editor, and I will say BM underscore furniture star, which is asterisk, and click apply. And right now you can see 5.18 million. So that means the furniture related records that you are basically getting over here. And what I'll do is I will just create another filter for this example, and that will be shipping mode, ship mode, yeah. And what it says, basically a ship mode of delivery truck, express air or regular air. So what we are basically trying to do is we are trying to figure it out that from the furniture selection that is in the bookmark, if we select delivery truck, then what is the value? If we are selecting express air, then what is the value? so on and so forth. So hope you got the idea. So if I'm clicking on done over here, I can remove this, right? So for now it is 5.18 million. Even if I have not selected this, you can clearly see that it is indicating what we have bookmarked it. So now if I just go ahead and do the selection on delivery truck, it says that 4.15 million out of some 5 million. So that's a number you get as an intersection. And if I select Express Air and remove the delivery truck, just 159k. And if I select regular air and strict that, then 863. So what we can basically make it out that in case of furniture, maximum deliveries are happening through the delivery truck, followed by regular air, and then finally the express air. So in scenarios like this, where you want your you want to combine two different filters like this. So for example, we had the furniture already in the bookmarked, and the second filter is ship mode, and we are just trying to figure out the common records. Then this is how you can basically achieve it. So very tricky and very useful, but only caution that you need to make sure you have that you have given a proper education to your user. Otherwise they will be confused that first of all, why the number is low, overall number is low, 5.18 million, and then how the number is basically getting impacted based on the selection that you are making. So always a very important part is user education in such trivial or tricky scenarios. So that's pretty much it I have for you in this video, and I will meet you in the new video, the new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video we will look at another way of achieving the output that we had achieved in the previous video. So in the previous video, if you remember, we used the bookmark, which is the furniture bookmark. If I just select it over here, the value will be still 5.18 over here. So what it has is basically the bookmark we had used along with the delivery truck. So if this is something you want to use as a backend and not as a bookmark, then what you can do is go into the edit and come over here, 5.18. So over here, if you see the expression, it's saying BM underscore furniture. That means it is taking the furniture selection, the value of this furniture selection as a default selection, and then making an intersection or in another way, finding the common records from whatever we are selecting, which is indicated by this $sign. So if we select furniture is anyway default selected, and if we select delivery truck, so it will give us only common record between furniture and delivery truck. Or if we are selecting regular air, then it will give the furniture and regular air records. Now this is based on what we are selecting in the front end, but let's say if you want to present it to user without they are making a selection or as a predefined requirement, then we can basically use the set operators and this will be little complex or advanced maybe for you, because what I have not showed you is the set modifier. So bear with me for a moment. So I'm just removing everything, and this is basically a set modifier, and I will explain more about them in the next video. So what I can do, I can put a $sign prior to that, which is basically saying that whatever selection I'm making in the front end, consider that also along with the condition that I'm specifying. So first of all, I need to mention the product category as in the bracket within the quotes as furniture, right? Because that's what the bookmark was saying. And then I can use the operator over here like $sign, which is indicating that include that, or I can use star, which is an intersection, and after that I can put a $, and indicate that ship mode, let me select that, ship mode is equals to your express air, right? So a very simple condition which is specifying that give me the sales of only those values which are where product category is furniture and ship mode is express air, right? And if I click apply and click on done, you see that 159.8k is the value that we are getting. So over here we can verify also. So 14.92 million is the sum of sales. If I select furniture and if I select express air, you see 159.7k or 159.8k is the output. So whatever we are getting from the set analysis over here is getting verified based on the selection that we have made. So that's an alternative thing I wanted to show you, that how you can predefine all of your selection if you don't want it dynamic. Let's say you are creating furniture related dashboard and you are showing the KPIs based on the shipping mode of furniture, then in that case this will be very useful. So that's about how you can further use the set operators like this, which is a star or plus, and make your calculations as complex as you want based on your business rules. So that's pretty much it I have for you in this video, and I will meet you in the new video with a new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will talk about the set modifiers. So set modifiers are used to make addition or changes to a selection, and modifiers begin and end with the angle brackets. So let's see the examples. So here if you see over here, you have order date is equals to delivery date within the angle brackets, right? So this is the ending bracket, this is the starting bracket, and within that we are modifying the calculation to basically ask how many orders are there which have been delivered on the same date on which it has been ordered. So that's the explanation written over here. Let's see another example. So here we are saying that give us the sale only for the region US and disregard all the selection, by as we have passed on the identifier 1. Similarly over here we are saying that give us the sales for the current selection but disregard the selection into the region. That means whatever selection you will make in the region will not be considered. Let's see another example. So this example is same as above. The only difference is that $sign is not present here, which is basically indicating that it is a default option. If you specify okay, if you don't specify, then also the current selections will be considered. And in this next example, a bit of an advanced, where we are saying within the modifiers that we want the sale for year 2000 and for any region which is starting with U. So that's a wild card we have presented. And if you see, it is doing a bit of a search, and that search string is present in the double quotes, the U star. So this will give you all the values for year 2000 and the region which is starting with U, as well as whatever current selection that you will make. So that's the quick explanation about set modifiers and some of the examples. And modifiers are the one which are heavily used within the set analysis, within the Qlik Sense applications for the production of the analysis. And in the next video I will talk about some of the examples that we have discussed here into the practical scenario. So that's pretty much it for now, and I will meet you in the new video with a new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you the demonstration of set identifiers. So let's go into the edit, and sum of sales is the one which we have been using for our example, so let's continue using that. And here I am into the expression for sum of sales, so let me go into the expression editor. And if you observe in the previous video, and I mentioned also that I am using the set modifier, that means these angle brackets. And apart from that, we use the set modifier, which is a star, and then we used another value which is ship mode express air. Now, if you have to write the entire statement with the help of set modifier in just one single set modifier, so what we can do is we can just remove this entire piece, put a comma, and now this angle bracket is having this starting bracket and closing bracket. So this is basically similar to what we had done earlier, but now the only difference is that we are taking both the categories, both the fields into just one single angle bracket, the modifiers, and using it. So if I click apply, you'll see that there is no change into the numbers, and if I select couple of others, if it impacts, it will going to change, otherwise it will not. So in this case, looks like it is not changing because furniture and probably ship mode, I think it was express here, is kind of exclusive to others, and that's why it is not getting impacted. But that's the thing we need to keep in mind about how our expressions are behaving, because initially it may look like it is not going as per your expectation, but in the back end you need to really make sure that whatever you want to achieve, you are specifying it like that. If not, then definitely you have to modify it either by using identifier, the modifier, or with the set operators to get the desired operation. So apart from that, one other thing that we saw earlier is the comparison of two fields. So like if I remove this entire piece and basically say that order date is equals to ship date, then only for those items which have been delivered on the same day, what is the sales amount? So if I click apply and it says 0, that means there is no single order which have been shipped on the same day on which it has been ordered. So that's how you can basically play around with the fields, the set analysis, and get the desired output. So one other interesting thing that you can apply and brainstorm around is how you can say those sales orders which are within the 5 days of, which have been shipped within the 5 days of orders, things like that. And then, you know, it opens a lot of different possibilities that you can achieve with the help of the set analysis, set operators, or set identifiers and modifiers. So pretty much I have given you everything. There are a few other things which are still remaining, like 1 or 2 things which I will show you in the next couple of videos, but till then, stay tuned. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will talk about the 2 different functions within the set analysis. The function that is P, only letter P, and E, the only letter E, so which basically indicates the possible value and excluded value. Now what they are is basically, think like this: if I am selecting a product category which is furniture and it has the possible related products with this product category, so it may be, there may be hundreds or 50s of different products that is related to the furniture, which will be present in a, let's say, in a separate field. Or for example, these 3 delivery modes, which is a possible value related to the furniture. So it basically takes all the possible values related to the selections that we are making, and vice versa. The E function basically exclude, that means it will take these 2 values into the consideration. So let's first see exclude, because this is simple and very straightforward, and I'm pretty sure that the function P will give you a little bit of hard time, but that's okay. I will show you or give you a bit of a scenario to understand that. So if I remove this and I will say product category equals to E function, and within that I will pass product category. So I am saying that take the product category values, only those values which are excluded. We can further modify it, but for the sake of starting, let's just go ahead with that and click apply. And if you see, it is 0 right now, done. because everything is nothing is selected, so nothing is excluded, and that's why it is 0. So for the example, let's go ahead and select this furniture. Now if you see, the value is 9.74 million, which is basically the value for these two, office supplies and technology. Office supplies, if I select, that's the value, only value for technology. And if you want to check that, let's cross this and click on technology. And if you see 5.98, which we were getting it here earlier. So that's very straightforward. Exclude is very straightforward, as you can see. Whereas in case of P, if I just go ahead and write the P value, the P function, and click apply, so no error will come. But the only thing is, right now you won't be able to see much of an impact, because 14.92 is basically all your possible values. If I select this, whatever possible values related to the furniture has come over here. But think like this, that if you have a different field which is related to the product category, and you only want to get the possible values out of it, right, in scenarios like this, then this function can be really helpful. So I know such scenarios are a little difficult to find, but when it comes, you should always have this function in your back pocket, that, oh, okay, if I want to select all of these different values, I just don't have to manually specify it. I will just go ahead and use the function like P. For example, if let's say for furniture, all the delivery is happening via the delivery truck only, because it's a very heavy item, then you don't have to specify the delivery truck as a manual thing, because it can always change. You can always specify P delivery truck. P ship mode in that case. So that will be your dynamic expression and much more flexible as compared to manually specifying the string. So in scenario like this will become really handy. So go ahead and try using it, and figure out a scenario in which you would like it, like I explained, related to that scenario, and probably that makes sense to you. If initially you find it little difficult to understand P, don't worry, keep using it, and once you get the scenario which is pretty clear cut, you will be able to easily understand. I know initially it gives the hard time in terms of understanding. So those are the two functions I wanted to show you, the possible selection of possible values and excluded values within the expression. And I will meet you in a new video with a new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video. And in this video, I will show you some of the examples related to the searches. So if you remember from our previous video, let me see by going into the edit, and whether I have put it here. No. So what I have used in one of the previous video is the star as a wildcard operator. So for example, over here, if I remove this P function, which I showed it in the previous video, and just remove this as well, and within the curly brackets, I would say anything that is having star air. Star basically indicates that any word prior to air. So that means express air or regular air. So that was in ship mode. So let me change the category to ship mode. Otherwise the value will not come. Hold on. Made some wrong selection. Ship mode. All right. So anything that is ending with air, give me the sales for that. So if I click apply, and you see that 8.69 for express air and regular air. And if you have particular fixed word, one single fixed word or two single fixed word, so for example, some sort of a short form or some category that you want to fix, say for example the first three letters, question mark, use the question mark for one single letter, question, space, and anything like delivery, for example air delivery, or any three letters which is coming prior to this delivery and space, it will gonna pick it up. So if you want to handle multiple characters, use star that I told. And if you have a specific characters at the end, at the medium, at the middle, or at the end, then you can use this question mark in that case. So both of them are at our disposal to use it and making the right number out. So that's one thing. Another thing is about searching by numerical category. So things like getting the sales only for those orders where order value is basically greater than 1,000. That means sales is more than $1,000. So what we can do is we can simply specify the sales, and then over here I need, within the double quotes, I need to say greater than 1,000. So wherever the value of sales is greater than 1,000, it will give me the output. So if I click apply, and 13.34 millions is basically the sum of sales for those orders which were having the sales value greater than 1,000. And similarly, if you are interested in getting 10,000, you can just specify 10,000, click apply, and see that 4.83 million is the total order value for all those orders which were of 10,000 or more. So, or if you want to include 10,000, you can simply specify equals to, greater than equals to $10,000, and you will get a similar value around the same thing. And if you are interested in further complicating it, where you want to say that you want greater than equals to 10,000 but less than equals to 50,000, that's how you can specify it. Click apply, and you see that number is changing from 4.8 to 4.74. So couple of different ways by which you can specify. I know once we go into the development, the things become more and more complex, but this is just some of the gist I wanted to give you about the searching in the set analysis, about what are the different things that you can do and achieve it based on your complexity of solution or the business rule. So that's pretty much it I have for you in this video, and I will meet you in the new video with a new topic. Hi there, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I will show you some information of set analysis related to point-in-time reporting. So point-in-time reporting is a very important subject in almost every reporting, where we want to look at what happened last month, last week, last year, year to date, so things like that. And to view that time related information, set analysis can be really handy, as it will provide you a lot of dynamic behavior that you can achieve, and set it once and your report will be automated forever. So one basic example that we will going to look at is the sum of sales for the most current year, which is 2012 in this case. So let's go to edit, and here is the set analysis that we have been using. And what I will write is order date. So if I go to order, I get order year over here, and here I will start writing it within this double quotes, right? And I will use the dollar sign, and within dollar sign I will use the equals to max, and then the same this thing. And once we get this over here, I think by now we should have everything that we need. So let's see the output. Click apply, and we get 0. If I click on done, yeah, nothing changes. Yep, nothing changes. Okay, so there is some issue. Let's resolve it. And so first of all, the way we resolve it is by looking at what is the value that this is giving, right? Because this is a straightforward thing, but here the value that we are getting is something, it's getting messed up. So let me click apply, and let me go to text image over here. put a cancel. I want to just add it. Yeah. So here I will add a measure, and within the function I would say max of order and year. So let's see what value we get. So we get 40909. I think this is what not our left hand side value was expecting when we are comparing it with the year. It should be 2011, 12, something. So how we can change it to a year? Well, let's see, it's here, and the same thing then we will apply in the set analysis. So first of all, year, within that date, and within that function, and I will just close this. So I have done it pretty quickly. The reason is I'm a little bit aware about this, but since if you are doing it very first time, so let's see it from the inside. So what it is doing, it is giving us the maximum year information, but it is coming as a plain number. So what we are doing is we are converting that number into a date, and then we are converting that date into a year using the year function. And this is pretty much all. If I just copy this and come over here, go to here and put it over here, Control V. All right, so we have year, date, max, and this. And now if I click apply, I get 3.72 million, which is the order value for 2012. Now, if I'm interested in knowing what has been the furniture value in 2012, this is what the value is. Office supply 2.2 million, technology 3.72 million. So this is about a very simple example of how you can do it, the point in time reporting within using the SAT analysis within the Qlik sense. And before closing, I will just show you one more thing which you will ask as a next question is, okay, I'm fine with the latest year, but what about the previous year, right? So in that case, we'll go to edit mode, 3.72 million selected. So that's the expression. And from this year, we will just reduce -1. And that's pretty much it. Will be needed to give you the last year expression, last year value. So I have done nothing, but I have gone here where year is ending. As you can see it's highlighted in orange, and I am reducing it -1. So 2012 -1 is basically the 2011. That's a simple arithmetic operation which is going on here. And if I click apply, we get 3.44 million. And if I press Ctrl C, it's 3.72. That means that's the most recent year. And if I press Ctrl Y to undo that, then I get the last year. So that's what I was doing, undoing and redoing the expression just to show you the difference. So that's how you can go back whatever level that you want. If you are looking for last 3 year information, last 4 year information, you can simply reduct it, do a reduction from the most current year, and you will get the information handy. So that's pretty much it for this video, and I will meet you in the new video with a new topic.